My father died with nothing. That is what the village said. That is what everyone believed. That is what I believed. He had one room, one agbada he saved for Sundays, one pair of good shoes he had owned for 22 years. He ate one meal a day when money was short, which was most days. His name was Papa Eze, but the village called him Papa Eze, and they called him poor, openly, without cruelty, or so they thought. They called him poor the way people call the sky blue, as a fact, as a given, as a thing that required no further thought. He died on a Wednesday morning in October, peacefully, in his one room, in his one bed. 3 days after we buried him, I went back to clear the room, and I found the notebook.
My father was a quiet man. Not shy, not sad, quiet. There is a difference. Shy is afraid of being seen. Quiet is comfortable with being underestimated. He had never left the village. He had never owned a car. He had never built a house, not one with his name on it anyway. What he had was this: he listened, he remembered, and he never turned anyone away. When the Igwe's eldest son needed school fees in 1987, my father gave them. When the church pastor's roof collapsed after the rainy season flood of 1993, my father gave what he had. When the market union chairman's business collapsed in 2001, my father lent him enough to start again. Each time they said, "I will pay you back, Papa Eze." Each time he nodded. He never asked again. I watched this as a boy. I thought he was foolish. I thought he gave because he did not know better. I was wrong about almost everything.
His room was exactly as he left it. One narrow bed, one wooden side table, one plastic chair, a Bible with a cracked spine, a small framed photograph of my mother. She died when I was 7. A calendar from 2019 on the wall that he had never taken down. And underneath the mattress, where old men in the village keep their important things, a notebook. Green cover, water-stained at one corner, held shut with a rubber band that crumbled when I touched it. My father's handwriting on the first page. 4 words. What is owed?
I sat on his bed and I read, and I could not stop. The first entry was dated January 14th, 1983, 41 years ago. Chief Obiora Nosu, school fees for Emeka Nosu, 200 naira, then pending. I turned the page. Pastor Ugochukwu Ezeani, roof repair after flood, 1,450 naira, then pending. I turned the page. Market Union Chairman Celestine Obi, business restart capital, 4,800 naira, then pending. Page after page, name after name. The Igwe himself, 1999. The headmaster of my primary school, 2004. 2 of the biggest merchants in the market, 2008 and 2011. Every entry the same. The name, the reason, the amount, the date, and then always one word: pending. Not paid, not cancelled, not forgiven. Pending. As if he always believed the day would come. As if he was patient enough to wait for it. I added it up. I am not ashamed to tell you I added it up. Adjusting for inflation, adjusting for the decades.
What those men owed my father, in today's money, was enough to have built a house, several houses. It was enough to have sent me and my siblings to the best schools. It was enough that he would never have eaten one meal a day. It was enough that the village would never have called him poor. It was enough, and he never collected a single naira of it, not once, in 41 years. I put the notebook down, and I sat in his one room, and I was angrier than I have ever been in my life.
There was one more entry at the back. Not a debt, a letter, written to me. He wrote, "Ikenna, if you are reading this, then I am gone. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking I was a fool. You are sitting there adding numbers and getting angry. I know you. You get angry the way your mother used to. I want you to understand something. I collected every debt." I stopped reading. I read that line again. He wrote, "I collected every debt, just not in money. When the Igwe's son needed school fees, I collected the Igwe's respect. That man greeted me first for 30 years. When the pastor needed his roof, I collected the pastor's protection. No trouble ever came to our compound from that church. When the chairman needed capital, I collected a debt he could never name. His market stall always made space for whatever I needed to sell. I was never poor, Ikenna. I was the most expensive man in the village." He wrote, "They just never knew what they were paying."
I read the letter 4 times. Then I walked outside. It was evening. The compound was quiet. I stood in the place where he used to sit. His one plastic chair, under the compound eave, where he would sit in the evenings and watch the village pass. And the village would pass and greet him. Every single one of them. The Igwe's people, the pastor's deacons, the chairman's boys. They all greeted him first. I had watched it my whole life. I had thought it was pity. "Good evening, Papa Eze. Safe night, Papa Eze. God bless you, Papa Eze." It was not pity. It was payment. It had always been payment.
I kept the notebook. I did not contact any of the men named in it. I did not go to the Igwe. I did not go to the pastor. I did not sit across from the chairman. My father had 41 years to do that. He chose not to. I will not undo what he chose, but I understand it now. Power is not in the collecting. Power is in knowing you could. Every man in that notebook walked past my father for 40 years, thinking they were bigger than him, thinking his one room and his one agbada and his one meal a day meant something about his worth. They were wrong. He was the only man in the village who knew exactly what everything cost. And he decided every single day that this was not the price he wanted to collect. He wrote at the very end of the letter, "I want you to be richer than me, but I do not want you to be richer the way they are rich." He wrote, "I want you to be rich in what you do not need." He wrote, "That is the only kind that lasts." I folded the letter. I put it back in the notebook. I put the notebook back under the mattress, where he kept it, where he always knew it was, and I left it there. Some debts are not meant to be collected. Some records are not meant to be used. They are meant to be known, just known. That is enough. That was always enough. If you enjoy powerful African stories like this, subscribe to Tales of Africa, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below.